Welcome back to Java and Joy. We are going to talk about burnout recovery today and how you can start feeling like yourself again without having to completely overhaul your life in order to get there. Because burnout is real, and this is something that I have personally dealt with as of recently, and I am still in the road of recovery on that. And if you're just someone who tends to be that go-getter that feels like the only way you're productive is to be doing something all the time, this one's going to be for you. And it's really, I think, going to be enlightening to see that burnout recovery is obtainable. And you may not even know you need it. So stay tuned on this one. It's going to be good. We're going to dive in very, very soon. But as always, let's do a little housekeeping, as we like to say here at Java and Joy. First of all, cheers. Got to get the Java in before we even get to the joy. I mean, it's kind of part of the joy, but cheers, cheers, cheers. If you're new here, welcome in. Hi, I'm Carla Joy. I am a certified life coach, and I talk about all things wellness, and I truly just want to help people find their joy. So that's what we do here. And we always start off with a little settle in moment. So whatever you're doing, just take a deep breath, release the tension in your body wherever you're holding on to anything that's just feeling clenched, stiff, whatever. Okay. Let it all go. For now, your problems don't exist. How wonderful does that feel? They aren't there. They'll be there later, but for now, they're not there. This is time just for you to relax, enjoy, do something good for yourself, get some you time in, get some self-care time. And let's talk about our joy moments of the week. So for me, my biggest joy moment of the week, I gotta say, I started reading a new book. And I actually mean reading, not listening to an audiobook. I listen to lots of audiobooks and podcasts and things like that when I'm running. But I haven't been reading. And I didn't even realize I had quit reading. And I missed having a physical book in my hands. A disconnect from screens, other people's voices, just me and my voice and me reading a story, right? Although I think I probably make up character voices as I go along, but they're all in my tone, right? They're all my character voices. So, and I'm just like thrilled. And I started a new series. And I say new series, I mean new to me, by the way. It's called Court of Throne of Court and Roses, I don't know. It's supposed to be this really good series though. It's highly recommended. People have been trying to tell me to read this for years. And I didn't. And I guess because I was already like into like Game of Thrones and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I want more thrones and this and that. So I put it off and I finally started it. And now I'm kicking myself because it is so good, by the way. And now I fear that I have 5 books of it to catch up before book number 6 comes out at the end of October. So now I'm like, I got to be ready for book 6. But I'm also trying to teach myself to stop hurrying through everything. So I'm like, it's okay. If the new book releases and you don't start it right then, it's not going anywhere. It will still be there. But there's that teeny, little part of me that's like, we got to catch up before the next one. But I love the fact that it's an ongoing series and that she's still releasing new books. I love being a part of those kind of stories because it's like, it's not going to end. Because if you're like me and you binge something, whether it's a book, a movie, a TV show, whatever, like when you're done, there's like this emptiness. Does anybody else feel that? Like when you finish a good series of some kind, you're just like, well, now what? So I hate starting a whole new one. It always takes me a minute to like start a new one. But once I do and I finally get like involved in it, I'm really in it. So I'm loving that. So it's definitely my joy moment of this week is starting this new book. And I'm just loving it. And it's forcing me to like sit in a quiet area in my house or lay in my hammock a little longer or sit in my garden and read. Like it's forcing me to enjoy spaces in my home, inside and out, that I don't utilize enough. And I'm like, I created these wonderful spaces and I don't take advantage of them. So it's helping with a lot of things all at once, I gotta say. So that's a pretty big joy moment for me this week. So I'm curious, what are your joy moments going on right now? Keep sharing those with me, by the way. You can email them to me. You can leave them in the comments if you watch me on YouTube. You can post your own joy moments on like Instagram and then tag me at Carla Joy Wellness. And I will share those into my stories and on my feed so that people can see your joy moments. I think it's so important to share the good things happening in our lives. I really just want us to flood the internet with it. I honestly do. Just flood it with positivity and joy, and let people see how much good that there is in every single day, and hopefully flood out some of the negative, right? So keep sharing those with me. I love getting them. I love seeing them, and I love sharing them with my community as well. So, all right, let's get another sip. Let's get another sip. So good. And let's get ready to dive in. Let's do this. Let's kick off our first August episode. I can't believe it's August. I cannot believe it's August, and I'm so excited for fall, by the way, but I don't want to rush summer, because if I rush summer, then it's going to be fall, and before I know it, it's winter. And I don't want it to be winter. So I love Christmas, but then I really don't like anything after that until like the next April. So we're just going to enjoy the summer, as hot as it may be. So let's talk about burnout recovery and how we can actually feel like ourselves again. So if you have felt like completely drained, emotionally, mentally, physically, this episode is going to be for you. Burnout has become so stinking common. Like, we have come to think of it as like a normal part of adulthood. Especially for us women, I think, who are over 40 dealing with perimenopause, hormonal changes. We're like, well, this is just normal. We're supposed to be exhausted. We're supposed to have brain fog. We're supposed to this, XYZ, right? We're supposed to, we're trained to think that we have to stay productive. We have to hustle, and keep pushing. I am so freaking over the hustle culture for women. Donezo with it. Am I saying that women shouldn't strive to have it all? Sure. I want us to be mothers and wives and entrepreneurs and business baddies. I want that for all women. But if it comes at a cost of our freaking sanity, then I don't want it. That's where I am with that. And we have to be able to find a balance between being that boss, Bia, the hustle lady, and also still being still and calm. We cannot just push all the time. And the thing that I have learned, and I'm understanding more and more every single day, is that we cannot pour from an empty cup. We absolutely cannot be the best versions of ourselves and show up as a really good wife or a really good mom or a good friend or a good employee if we're not taking care of ourselves. If we're running on E, people are just kind of like getting our fumes. We're running on fumes, right? They're just kind of getting whatever we got left to spit out. All the good stuff's gone, right? So they're just getting all our leftovers. And leftover us sucks. Leftover me sucks. She is not a pleasant peach to be around. So we really need to learn how to recover from this burnout stuff, and then start making it a purpose to, or making it a point, making it our purpose to still follow the things we love, but maybe take it down a notch. Right, ladies? And if you're doing all the things and you are thriving and you don't have the burnout, that is fantastic. Keep doing you. But I wager a guess here that 90% of the people listening to this are tired. I would put money on that. So let's kind of talk about what burnout looks like, because maybe you don't even realize you're burnt out. Maybe you just keep waking up exhausted. Maybe you're just like always overwhelmed, even with small tasks, or you've lost motivation for things that like you normally would enjoy. Maybe you just feel emotionally numb or easily irritated. Okay. It could just show up like brain fog. It could just be, I can't concentrate. And if you especially feel guilty every single time you rest, these are all signs of burnout. And yes, we can blame so much of this on perimenopause. We absolutely can. But it's not going to make it better to point the blame anywhere, right? And let's just say that it is all perimenopause and it's not burnout. Well, all the things that I'm going to talk about on how to recover from burnout are also things that can help you better navigate perimenopause, all in the same turn. So maybe you have no burnout, but maybe perimenopause is just, taking you by the reins a little bit. Then these activities, these strategies, these practices are going to help you either way. Okay, so and these symptoms can overlap because, it could just be a combination of the two things. And maybe perimenopause is making it easier for you to burn out. Okay. So I don't want you to discredit any of this thinking, well, it's perimenopause, there's nothing I can do about it. That is not true. You can be more diligent about the things you're doing to help navigate perimenopause and minimize the symptoms, instead of just trying to survive through it and just somersaulting every single day. Maybe you could somersault like once a week, maybe not every day, right? So I think that we don't realize though that burnout does show up in these kinds of ways, and it could also even show up as digestive issues, headaches, muscle tensions, poor sleep. Again, that all could kind of be blurred with perimenopause, right? So just know that when your body asks for rest, and it does, it is constantly asking you for rest. And if you keep ignoring the little whispers that it's giving you all the time, then eventually it screams. And once you hit where it's screaming at you, that's burnout. Okay. Doesn't matter what the root cause is. Okay. Maybe you don't take on too much. Maybe it's just perimenopause that's causing the burnout, right? Either way, your body's shouting at you. And this is where we have to figure out, what do we do, right? How do we fix this? Because yes, things can be done. And we have to kind of recognize why we're getting burnt out in the first place. And again, some of it can be perimenopause, but it usually doesn't happen because you had a busy week. It happens because of having busy months and years without ever refilling your tank. Okay. If you're never slowing down, if you're saying yes way too often, which we tend to do, if we start to believe that our self-worth comes from how productive we are, that's a big red flag. We've been trained to wear exhaustion like it's a badge of honor or something, and it is not. Being unkind to yourself, including your body, mentally and physically, is not a badge of honor. We're actually disrespecting the vessels that were so beautifully gifted to us. We should take care of our vessels, not punish them. So if we're constantly busy, then we're not living well. You can't live to work. Okay? That's not living. It's just not living, not for most of us. Okay? So understanding what causes the burnout, I think, is a good way to wrap our heads around it. And then we can start making a game plan from there. And the very first thing you're going to have to do, guys, is give yourself the permission to slow down. That's honestly, I think, going to be your biggest hurdle. It was mine. That's the hardest step because slowing down feels uncomfortable. And I will tell you that I had a day where I only did a few things. And I actually took a 20-minute morning break. I took a full hour lunch break and a 20-minute afternoon break, something along those lines. And I actually talked to my husband that night at dinner, and I was like, I feel so unproductive today. He's like, well, what do you mean? Didn't you do this, this, and this? I'm like, yeah, I did. I did do those things. But I also rested and took breaks multiple times. And I feel I don't know, I feel like I didn't fill my time. It felt very, very uncomfortable and awkward. And I was so used to being exhausted by the time I sat down for dinner with my husband that it was kind of I didn't know what to do with the energy. It was weird to sit face to face with my husband and have dinner and be fully engaged and present with him and not just keeping my eyes open. just trying to stay awake kind of thing, right? Or having so many things reeling through my head from the day that I couldn't turn it off. And that was when I realized that changes had to be made. I knew it then. And it feels uncomfortable to slow down because we're afraid we're going to fall behind, or that people will judge us, that things are going to fall apart. Like if one ball drops, they're all going to drop. But honestly, sometimes the most productive thing we can do is rest. And then suddenly we perform better in the things that were exhausting us to begin with. And those things can feel easier. We do a better job of it. We find ways to be more efficient and effective that way, when we can think clearly and we can actually enjoy some of those things instead of them feeling like tasks and chores and so on, right? So I really think that we have to give ourselves permission. Like even Jesus stepped away for a day, right? Like the creation of earth, God took a rest day, right? Like if it matters to him, it probably should matter to us, right? Like we have to give ourselves permission. That is like the first step, to be like, look, I need a break. And it's not a negotiable thing anymore. Like it's not an option anymore, right? So that's step one. Give yourself permission to slow down. Okay? Step two is where we're going to actually start removing things instead of adding things to ourselves. When we're burned out, we have like an instinct to like just add more. And that could be like, maybe I should have, I need a better planner. I need a better routine. I need to take another supplement. I need some kind of productivity hack. We're always trying to like find an answer by adding something. And instead we should be asking, what can I remove? And that could be an unnecessary commitment that you've made. Maybe you're scrolling social media for an hour every single night. Maybe you say yes sometimes when you really should say no. Basically, we have to learn to create that space for ourselves and start taking things away that are not serving us. Now, obviously, some things are non-negotiable. We have to make a living. You know, we have to take out the trash. There's things we have to do. But outside of the things you have to do, right? That's where we need to be a lot more stingy with our time. Our time is the most valuable thing we have. Our time and our bodies. And we are disrespecting both by allowing ourselves to be burnt out. And when you think of it that way, I think it changes the way you look at it, right? So start creating space, start removing things, stop adding them. A fancy planner is not going to fix your burnout. Taking a supplement is not going to fix your burnout. Okay? And then we have to start focusing on our basic needs again, which is sad to say, but like, are we drinking enough water? Are we getting enough sleep? Are we eating real food that actually nourishes our bodies? Are we getting outside for at least 10 minutes a day and getting that vitamin D? Are we moving our body at least 30 minutes a day? Are we taking some deep breaths once in a while and relaxing and putting our feet up? We've got to get back to the basics, our basic human needs. These are things your body needs. They're not like a luxury. They're not like an optional thing. They're not like, oh, well, when I earn it. No, that's where we really have to like realize that these are basic human needs. And at any age, by the way, I don't care what age you are, these are basic human needs. And if we want to function correctly, then we might want to actually treat our bodies how they're supposed to be treated. Otherwise, we can't expect them to show up for us. We're not showing up for them, right? It's a give and take. If we don't respect our bodies, they're not going to respect us. They don't care about our schedule. You hear that? Our body does not care about your schedule. It doesn't care about your hopes. It doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about whether you're motivated or not. It doesn't care how much time you have. It doesn't care. All it cares is that you give it the things that it needs. Otherwise, it's going to break down on you. It could be a physical breakdown, mental breakdown. It doesn't matter. It could be both, but it's going to break down on you. So address your basic human needs. No more compromise on that. Okay. Let's take a little sip while we think about our basic human needs. Like me, a little moment for some coffee, a little joy, right? My little Java and joy. Because the next part, we're going to talk about building joy into our day. Because one thing I truly believe, and if you're watching this or listening to me or have followed me at all ever, anywhere, you'll know how I feel about joy. And that it's not something that we find, it's something we have to intentionally create. So you have to ask yourself, what fills my cup? What brings me joy? What do I look forward to doing? And it doesn't have to be one thing. It could be 100 things. But for me, it's gardening, it's reading, it's cooking, it's running, it's walking my dogs, it's spending time with my husband, listening to music, calling a friend, playing a video game, sitting and watching a sunset, having a cup of coffee. Do not wait for life to slow down for you to experience joy, because it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. You can't just experience joy when you're on vacation. You shouldn't be living for the weekends. You shouldn't be waiting till you lose weight. I hear that so many times, it drives me bonkers. You have to bring joy into your life every single day, and you have to be diligent about it. And if that means you set a calendar reminder or an alarm on your phone to remind yourself to do something for yourself every single day, so be it. I mean, that's something I work with on clients probably more often than anything else. All the clients I work with for accountability coaching, these are the things that I train them with, is calendar reminders, alarms, having a support system, someone to check in with, like an accountability coach, right? That's what people pay me to do, is to keep them accountable, keep them on track, remind them to do certain things every single day, because sometimes we are stronger in numbers and we do need a support system. Not everyone can do everything by themselves, and asking for help is a huge way of helping yourself and a huge way of stepping in the right direction if that's something that you need, right? So even if you don't want to hire a professional accountability coach, I'm not saying everyone needs that or can afford that. Get a buddy, right? Someone else who you could check in with daily and say, what'd you do for yourself today? Oh, I did this. Well, what did you do for yourself today? I did this. An accountability partner, right? It's free. Talk to your bestie, your sister, coworker, whoever, right? And make a list of the things that bring you joy and pick something every single day. And if you're having trouble coming up with ideas, by the way, my website, carlajoywellness.com, go to my freebies page. I have 100+ self-care activities guide on there, completely free. Just grab it, download it, and I even have it broke down for you depending on how much time you have in a day. So if you only have 5 minutes, there's a whole section for that. If you have a half an hour, there's a section for that. So that way you can maybe get some ideas, maybe think of things that you haven't thought of or haven't done in a long time. And you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like fun. Or, oh my gosh, I used to do that and I really enjoyed it. I would like to get back to doing that again. So go grab that guide if that's something that really helps you, because why not? It's free. So go get it. carlajoywellness.com. Go to my little coaching and freebie tab. 100+ self-care activity guides. 100% free. Okay. And that will help you at least get moving on the right track of adding joy intentionally into your day every single day. Not the weekends, not on vacation, not next month, not next year, not next Monday. Busted. I know some of you are like, well, I'll start next week. No. Whatever day you're listening to this, it's today is when you start. Okay. So go find your joy. Literally. I say it all the time. More than I say anything else, I always say go find your joy. So that's one of your steps to burnout recovery, is finding your joy. Okay. And then we also have to stop measuring our own worth by productivity. So, and this has been a big one for me, big struggle bus over here. Your value is not based on how much you've accomplished in a day. You are not worthy on your busiest days. Those days where you feel like you just managed to survive, those days are done. Healing is going to happen quietly, I will tell you that, because people aren't going to applaud you for taking a nap. People aren't going to applaud you for taking your feet up, at least not in this culture right now. I hope, though, that the tone changes on social media and wherever, you consume anything, that we stop seeing the hustle culture a little bit and start seeing more of the chill out culture. I would love to see that way more. The take a beat, the take a nap, the put your feet up culture, take the breaks culture. Take your breaks, the morning break, the afternoon break, the lunch break. Take the breaks. Okay? Stop measuring your self-worth by productivity. Okay? So start saying no and put your dang feet up. Protect your peace, like people like to say. Okay? Because all those choices are going to matter is what I'm saying. All right? And we have to really know here. Okay? So all these things that we're talking about that we're going to start doing for burnout recovery, I want you to realize that recovery of any kind is never linear. So it's not like one day you're going to be burnt out and the next day you're just like back to, perfection. It's not going to work that way. There's going to be weeks you feel amazing. Some weeks you feel a little more tired again. That's completely normal. It takes a while to reset the system. But we don't want to look for perfection here. Okay. You just want to be moving in the right direction. So offer yourself some grace, ladies. Remember to celebrate every single small victory. And if that means you put your feet up for 15 minutes that day, that is a small victory. You celebrate that. Okay. But the most important thing that you're going to do is to keep showing up. Consistency. And again, if you've ever worked with me, if you've ever been a client or you're in my Joy Circle community, then you'll know that consistency is something that not only do I teach, but is proven thing that if you stick with something, it works out. Okay. Things don't happen in 7 days normally. They happen in like 90 plus. So keep showing up and being consistent and doing all these things. And I think you're going to notice some changes here and there right off the bat, sure. But I think you'll start noticing more consistent good the longer you do things. And then before you know it, a year goes by and you're like, wow, I was living in a hole. Like I was not taking good care of myself. I felt awful. So keep showing up with all these things. Okay. So if you're feeling burned out right now, please, please, please hear this. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to prove your worth. And you don't have to have everything figured out before you start slowing down. Recovery is going to happen with one small choice at a time. Okay. So that one nourishing meal, that one good night's sleep, one boundary that you decide to put up, one afternoon walk that you decide to take, the extra deep breath that you take, the joyful moments that you add in. All of these are small choices that you're going to add in here or there to start sprinkling them in, and they're going to add up. So I hope that you can see that this isn't going to cost you money, and it's going to be actual things you enjoy to do to recover from the burnout. So I'm not like, go run, go diet, go stop eating chocolate, go take a supplement. Everything that I have talked about on here are just things you can do that cost you nothing and that feel good. No excuses, right? You don't need any special resources or any of that to do these things. Now, again, I highly recommend an accountability partner. If you can get an accountability coach and you're someone who really does well with that sort of discipline, I highly recommend that. Maybe you don't like one-on-one, so you come join the Joy Circle or a community like the Joy Circle where it's just a group of women. We do different challenges every month, ladies' nights, but we also have accountability posts throughout the week where we're like, all right, what are we working on this week? We do a midweek check-in. We do a Friday win. Yeah, where we talk about how this week went and how we can better prepare for the next week. Reflections, right? So maybe the group environment is a better thing for you. And again, it doesn't have to be the Joy Circle. It doesn't have to be my coaching. But go find a system that works for you, whether that's your buddy, a coach, or a community. Whatever you need support-wise, do not be afraid to ask for that help. Do not be afraid to seek out that support system for yourself. I mean, that's one of the kindest things you can do for yourself, right? So I highly recommend, though, just, do what you need to do to stick with it. Because like I said, the consistency is where it's really going to be key. So if you see you're struggling on your own, you don't have to do it on your own, is what I'm saying. Okay. And as always, all of my resources are going to be in the show notes. If you need that, carlajoywellness.com. If you're listening on the radio or you have no access to the show notes, just go there. You can find every resource possible there. If you need recommendations, always reach out to me. You can email me, tag me, or DM me on Instagram, whatever. Message me on YouTube, whatever works for you. But I'm here to help, happy to help. And I encourage you to share this with a friend, by the way, this episode, please, 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 because I know that you know someone who is burnt out. Or maybe you just know someone who's perimenopause, and all these things are going to help them too. You know someone, at least one person, and probably both of those categories, right? Probably a handful of people, to be honest. So pay it forward. Let them have the access to this episode. Please share. Please leave reviews, likes, comments. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. These things are free ways that you can support what I do and allow me to keep bringing you free content every single week. And it helps me reach even more women, which that is my goal, to help as many women as I possibly can find their joy. So doing all those things supports me in so many ways. And thank you so much for all of you who do these things for me. It truly does mean the world, and I appreciate you. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys today. Like I said, everything's in the show notes. Come say hi to me on social media. Come visit the website. I have my whole blog is up there now, by the way. If you want some healthy recipes, some gardening stuff, some home organization stuff, all different things. I've got a blog up there for you guys now, just sharing some of the ways that I incorporate wellness into my daily life. I know a lot of people always ask for those things, so I finally did it. The blog is there. I'm still building it, so there's not a ton, but there's a good amount there to get us going. And I will continue to share, how I am adding wellness into my life every single day in multiple different ways. So that can also be a good resource for you to find ways to live a better life, live a more well-filled, wellness-filled life. So go visit that. And make sure you subscribe to me. Make sure you subscribe. It helps me out so much. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And I hope you never miss an episode of Java and Joy. I hope you're here every single week with me. But until next time, cheers. Let's get our final sip of Java here. And as always, you guys, until I see you, keep finding your joy one sip at a time.